What's going on, everyone? Today I am back with the SAMA5D2. 8 hours later, I still cannot get it going, so unfortunately I'm going to have to try something new. I reached out to the guys on Element 14, kind of said, you know, this thing's a nightmare. Someone gave me some useful information, so I'm going to link their channel below here as well, so you can check them out. So thank you. I appreciate the information, and that's what's great about Element 14 is you always have someone there to help you out. I'm going to put a computer right here, running Ubuntu, and hopefully get it going. If I don't, then we'll be back on the Windows computer. I'll try one more time. If that doesn't work on either one, then I'm going to use an SD card to flash the board, which I didn't really want to do. It kind of defeats the purpose, but we'll do that route if nothing else works. So let's get to it. Now we've got to get the SAMA5D2 connected one way or another. So now we're going to try network connecting to the board and see if we can't get access to it that route versus going the USB route that I was doing and having no success at. So with that being said, I've got, I want to say, give me 1 second here. So Lucie here on Element 14 has a great little article of how to SSH into your, well, the 5D3, but I assume it's pretty much the same. So we'll try that. Check out the link below. I will have Lucie's profile for Element 14 and to this page here, as well as her YouTube channel, so check it out. Need to find out the IP address of what our board is. Okay, fair enough. Let's bring up our router or gateway, whichever you have yours directly connected to. You could use Wi-Fi, but I would suggest using Ethernet just for simplicity's sake. Okay, so now I'm into my router here. I'm just gonna go and take a look and see what connected devices I have. So to do that, I'm just going to click on, everyone's router is going to be a bit different. You might have a different section, but mine is laid out pretty easy here. So now I'm just going to look for wired connections on my Asus RT N66U, and I'm going to go and I'm going to look for, so right now I'm not seeing my device listed. So I'm just going to go over to the office where I have it plugged in and just double check to make sure it's connected properly, and I got the jumpers where they need to be able to connect properly. I'm not sure if I need to have certain ones open or close on this. I'm not too sure, but we'll play around until we get it, right? I had to wait last night quite a while to update my Linux operating system, and I was so happy I finally got the new catalog from Element 14, so I can check out all the new products and some of the ones that I want on my wish list. And I love getting the catalogs. This thing is huge, not as huge as their older ones. I missed the catalog 134 for some reason, I don't know why, but compared to the one previous to that one, this is small. So as you can see, it's a huge book, probably the same size as phone books were in the 1980s. And it's pretty cool because they got nice little graphics and basically all all the information you could want when it comes to looking up parts. And yeah, if you have any questions, just post them on element14.com, and guess what? Someone will probably help you. Or get a hold of Newark or whatever you want, and give them a call. I think there's even, yeah, you can call us for a quote, all that kind of stuff. Well, call them, not me. I won't give you a quote. So, technical support, it's got everything here, all info right on the inside. But to get your catalog, go to element14.com, and there should be a link in the main page there somewhere on the right, or left. Nope, right. It's got to be on the right. I'm going to go to the Newark website, the Canadian one, just to see if it's posted on there or not. If it's on there, it's going to be whatever your local shop is going to be. If it's the United States or the UK, there's links to all those, what your local shop is. You can get to it by selecting your store on the main page of element14.com, and you can go to visit your store. I know you probably can't see that, but it's there. So I'm on Newark, and it's great. You got so let's say I find an item in here, I want to take a quick look, and it's got the nice little lookup system here, but I'm not seeing the catalog. I'm going to go to all buying tools on Newark. There we go, catalogs. So it is going to be on your main site for your store, and just go to tools, and then all buying tools if you don't see an advertisement for the catalog on the main pages, and then just scroll down and you'll see 4 options at the bottom on most of the sites, but catalogs should be listed in there, and that's where you can click on it. And you can get the online versions, or you can get the physical. I like the physical just because if there's a power outage, I got something to read, because who wouldn't want to read the Element 14 catalog in the dark? Well, maybe with a flashlight. So, okay. Back to my router here. I am not seeing... I tell you what. So, I'm just going to quickly go and take a look here, see what's going on. I will be right back. You won't even know I'm gone. And I'm back. So, I do think I had one of the jumpers wrong just looking at it when I went in there to have a look at it. Now I got 2 wired items up here. So Atmel Corporation, that is the one we want. So what I'm going to do with this one here is I'm going to give it MAC and IP binding, so that way I know that this IP address is going to always be for that board. And then I can change whatever on it, but for right now I'm just going to bind that IP to it, so that way if I reboot it, it's not going to find a new one, it's just going to keep on using that. So I'm just going to let that update, and we will continue on. And there we go, it should be bound. So now I know that 192.168.1.85 is going to be my IP for that board. So now we're going to bring up our terminal, and we have Nmap already installed. To do that, just follow the instructions, and we are using Linux, or so what I'm going to go is I'm going to go Nmap, and then I'm going to enter the IP address 192.168.1.85. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to go, it has one port open, which is 111, perfect. Now we can try the next part. So now that I know it's connected, I think there's another command. So if we go ifconfig, so now we want to go, now that we've done the nmap, I know what the IP address of the board is. We're going to try to SSH into it. So SSH 192.168.1.85, and then is it I, or what is that? I'm going to copy that part because I'm not too sure what letter that is. This is the great thing about having someone else's notes that has done it before. When you're learning these boards, oh, it's an L. Root. So now I've got my command in, and now hopefully we are going to see something happen, and I will zoom in on it so you guys can see as well. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the microphone a little bit here. So it might sound a little bit different, I don't know, but I don't know if left and right channels are doing what here, so I will just go with that, and whichever side of my voice you end up on the left or right, that's up to the microphone. Still learning the microphone, so bear with me there. So now SH connect to host 522, connection refused. Let's bring back up our terminal here, and let's try that command again. Why are you port 22 connection refused? Okay, so I'm going to play around with this for a little bit. I'm going to try and get the connection going, and then I will redo the connection so you can see what I did. I will figure out what my ports are doing, but yeah, something's not letting me into it, so I will be right back. Okay, so when it comes to the SAMA5D2, I've learned a lot when it comes down to this board. In the 30 hours that I've played with it so far, 20 of those have been connectivity issues, and then 10 hours has been a lot of research and just trying to get the lay of the land with the board. Ultimately, what I think is it's a fantastic board, but its usability for the average person, the hobbyist and the maker, unless you have previous experience with these Atmel boards, you're gonna want to take your time and get it as something to tinker with and learn over something that you're gonna put into use right away. It's something that you're gonna want to have to be able to learn, to experience the capabilities of this board. It is ultimately a fantastic board, but I give it a 6 out of 10 just because the usability of this board. I have put on Element 14 my full review, and I will be doing further videos on this board. What I want to do is be able to use this board for a couple of my projects. And specifically I wanted to use this board was because of all the features that are involved in it. And a lot of people have a lot of issues when it comes to the connectivity of this board. So what I will be doing over the next few videos on this board is we're going to cover all the connectivity methods, the basic image uploading, the creating your own, and customizing it to what you would want. One thing I really do want to try is be able to use a RAMPS 1.4 board on this to be able to run Linux and Universal G-Code Sender on a display, which I will have to get yet. Once I get the screen and a couple of other items for this board, I think it will become a lot more of an asset. It is definitely something I have found that the board itself, if it had another method of video output that was simple to use, mini HDMI out, or even just a regular HDMI, but it doesn't. It only has the LCD on it, which I was kind of disappointed in, but it's just the way it is. So that being said, I will be doing future videos. I will get the screen and some other stuff, like I said, and we'll go through all the connectivity, using it without the screen, with the screen, what demos are good without the screen, and what you're going to expect to have for results, as there really isn't that much out there. I know Peter Oakes and Lucie Tozer have done great videos on previous versions of this board. I think it was the SAMA5D2, I do believe, I want to say. I can't remember. But once again, a lot of people, even then, they were. I know Peter Oakes was commenting about the connectivity and how a lot of people were having that issue. So that's a huge thing when it comes to these boards, is connectivity. If you can't connect to it properly, then it's not really a board that's worth our time. So I have found with this board specifically that reflashing it right away with an SD card with the demo image, it has produced an actual working board. I don't know if it was due to a corrupt image that was put on the board itself in production. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that all my issues were resolved once I did the SD card flash on it, which I didn't do until the 20-hour mark of playing around trying to get this connected with Windows 10, Windows Vista, Linux, and nothing would work or bring up the results that I wanted for this. So that being said, great board, 6 out of 10, but that's due to connectivity. So hopefully once I do all the videos on the connectivity, that the documentation, someone else in the future will give this board a lot better of a rating, because there'll be more documentation of connecting and working with these boards to their capacity. So stay tuned. I have a lot more coming when it comes to this board. I've got a lot more videos in the works for other stuff as well. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have done a lot more with this board. I didn't get there, but hopefully I will soon. So I'd like to thank once again Element 14 for allowing me to partake in this road test. This is a really great board, but the main draw was that connectivity issues. Had I known to flash right away, then I would have been a lot further in my actual usage of the board, because 30 hours in and I'm just scratching the surface is a lot of time wasted compared to a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino, where there is just an abundance of examples, documents on these boards. So the only thing I can say to Atmel is let's up the guides and procedures to these, so people have more access to information regarding them quicker. and maybe having something, a universal setup guide for these to get it going properly. And if they follow the steps and they're not getting anywhere, that reflashing the board is on the top of the list of the troubleshooting steps, because like I said, once I did that, everything started to fall into place and I was good to go. So thank you, Atmel. I will be using this. I will be promoting it more because it's a great board. But once again, you know what I'm going to say. So we'll stop there. The only other thing I could think of that actually really made me mad regarding this was the demos that were out there were okay, but anything that you would just go, okay, I have a full-fledged working board, it's doing stuff, kind of like a Raspberry Pi with customizable operating systems and programs for that. You could put whatever image you wanted on there and away you go. You could start programming right away on that board. This one I found people just wanted to sell the software for it versus actually providing the open source for it. So that being said, so that's why we're going to make our own, and hopefully I can help someone out there, out in YouTube land there, or on the internet, set up their board and get the most out of it. So until next time, thank you for watching. Have a great day, a great week, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, eh?